Shoot, this is literally like a 28-75. A6000 here. Oh ho ho, I like that. Well, I guess APS-C isn't dead. Stay tuned. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's That One Camera Guy, back at it again with another video for you. It's been a while. Happy New Year, by the way, 2021. We're taking a look at this Tamron 17-70. This isn't a review of this. This is just me unboxing and yapping about it. It's been a while. I'm trying to get readjusted. Now, Tamron sent this lens over to me like a week and a half ago, and I'm just barely opening it right now. I feel horrible. Someone recommended me to take a look at it, and I said, sure, just send it on over. I do got to send it back. It's not for me to keep, and they didn't tell me what I should or shouldn't say, so I just wanted to point that out. But I will try and make some general comparisons maybe to the Sony 16-55, which I did rent out before and try it out, and maybe make some general comparisons to Sony's other compact zoom lenses in this particular range. But I'm very excited about this because I wasn't expecting Tamron to produce something in this particular range for APS-C. I don't think anyone saw it coming initially. And so they've been doing a great job with their ultra-wide, so to speak, their zoom range and their telephoto range. So I've been really impressed with it as far as what Tamron's done. So I have a lot of high hopes. Haven't seen the actual lens, haven't held it in person, haven't opened the box. I feel horrible. So we're gonna jump into this. We're gonna figure this out. I don't have a script for anything, so. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get this unboxed. I'm just gonna go with the offhanded approach here, guys. Who cares? I'm just gonna try something a little different here. Let's see if I can get this opened. All right, hopefully you're all doing well while we get this kind of figured out for a second here. Let me know in the comments down below if you have been interested in this lens in particular, or you just haven't cared at all. I wonder if I fall into that category. So, I mean, I've kind of cared, but I haven't kind of cared. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not trying to lie to you or anything like that. So let me go ahead and get this out. Okay, you know, without even opening this already, I gotta say it is fairly light, but it is a bit of a long lens, so I think it might be a little unwieldy on APS-C. Who knows? Oh shoot, this is literally like a 28-75. You know what's funny? I'm pretty sure someone's already said that, but this legitimately feels like a 28-75 right now. Let me see here. All right, here we go. I got my A9 here. I know, I'm sorry guys, I'm just gonna roll with this particular style whether you like it or not. All right, we got 28-75 over there, and then we've got this guy over here. Wow, this is literally a 28-75. Okay, let's go ahead and take that out. Ooh, fancy. Wow, no surprises. Everything feels pretty much the same. Let me see here. All right, zoom ring feels the same. Focus ring feels the same. Everything about it feels the same. Feels like a 28-75. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this guy right there. And ooh, yeah, they're pretty close. The 17-70 is just a little bit bigger, you know, but in terms of weight, they're about the same, folks. I don't really notice a difference. We're gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and start off with the 6600 here. Been using this guy for a lot of my streaming. While I stream my classes, I've been using the 6600. That's been my go-to. So I've been keeping this guy on for like, I don't know, 8 hours a day live streaming for my classes when I'm teaching. So it's been going well. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and mount on 1770 for the first time. Okay, this is not bad, ladies and gentlemen. I'm digging this. I really am. Okay, it is a little wacky with the size. I would say the 16-55 Sony, from what I remember and recall, is much better in terms of balance, but holding it, that feels pretty good. It doesn't feel bad. Okay, I was like trying to power this on. I didn't even have a battery ready. That's how unprepared I am about this entire video. I'm just trying to put this together, okay? Not just leave me alone. All right. Okay. All right. So off the cuff, just going about feeling it. It's really light. With the 6600 body, it feels really well placed. I don't, having this setup feels pretty good in the hands. Just kind of off the cuff here. Let me go and flip over to photo mode really quickly here. Guys, I'm not doing anything super fancy. I'm just gonna, gonna get a feel for some of this auto-focusing. Let me do this really quickly here. Not gonna lie, folks, I haven't really used my cameras as much as just for live streaming for teaching. There just hasn't been much going on. I'm sure you guys realize what's going on in the world at this point. But anyway, in terms of just performance, speed, initial reactions to it, I like it. It's good. Now, in terms of its autofocusing performance for video, things like that, I don't know yet. Let me go ahead and grab a couple of other things to make some general comparisons. Hang on. All right, I went ahead and finished up looking some stuff. I wanted to get a gauge for the pricing for this particular setup here. And just off the bat, the Sony 16-55, let's go ahead and jump to that right now. Okay, we're going to go so we're taking a look at pricing here. We got the 16-55. It's basically $13.98 regular price. The Zeiss 16-70, which I do own, is about $1,000. The 18-105 regular $650. 18-135 is $650. Oh wow, these two are the same price. Okay, and then let's jump over to the Tamron, which is $799. Wow. Holy mac and cheese and meatballs, folks. That is interesting. All right, so we've got a few things going on here. We've got the 18-105. We're going to compare that a little bit side by side. We have the 16-70, which hasn't seen the light of day in many, many years. Again, I don't have the other ones, so I can't really talk about it. In terms of pricing right now, it's a tough sell to go with the Sony 16-55 F2.8. Now, I obviously would want to do a side-by-side to get an idea of it, but man, for $799, all right, this guy right here I think was $900 for this thing. Now, it's a little bit more compact. Hold on, let me see. All right, so let's take a look here. So that's the 1670 f4, definitely more compact. You zoom it out, it's definitely more compact at the end of the day when you're putting it away. But you're getting it at f4, you're losing a stop of light. I would still prefer this overall at the end of the day, personally. And then you've got this guy here, give me a second here. All right, and then we got the 18-105, that's gonna give you a little bit more reach. I don't have the 18-135, but it felt like it was about the same length or so in terms of the lens setup and everything. But yeah, when you compare it, yes, the 18-105 is going to be cheaper when it's on sale. The 18-135 is going to be cheaper. You got to go back and forth a little bit with it. But just having that extra stop of light is such a big deal with this particular lens. Man, and it's just like another 28-75. And then when you hold it, it feels... It's a little long, in terms of its spacing, but it's not bad. Let me go ahead and put it on an A6000. All right, here we go. I haven't brought this guy out in a while. A6000 here. Oh, ho, ho. I like that. That combo and the color there. Some might like it, some might not. Okay, even with a lighter body like the A6000, it still feels pretty good. I could still see myself using it. All right, so let's take a look here. A6000. There's no battery in here. I don't think there is. Yeah. But in terms of feel, even if I was zooming in, this reminds me of those days when I used the 70-300 way back when on APS-C bodies. That was heavier. That thing is a chunky lens. This thing is so well balanced. And if you think about it, the way I was thinking about this whole system lineup, if you add on, let's say you pick up the 1770 and you tack on the 70 to 180, you're gonna have a pretty good range, especially on APS-C and that crop factor. I think you're gonna be set to go if you're living in the APS-C world. That's if you want to live in that particular dimension. So if you already own an APS-C body and you want to stick with that and you want to invest in the lens setup, it's actually very nice that Tamron has gone ahead and made a lens like this. So now we're seeing some good prime options from like Sigma, like the Sigma 16mm, which I still use all the time. And now we've got a really nice zoom lens in competition to the Sony 16-55. Man, even though that the 16-55 is a little lighter and smaller, just for the price factor, I wouldn't even think twice. This would be the one I would go with. Here's some things to think about, just sort of big picture, the way I was looking at this. Now, for the APS-C crowd, I would imagine that those of you that are living in the APS-C world are really budget conscious. You kind of want to save your money. You don't want to spend too much money. I totally get that. I don't think you really have to get the lens if you really don't need it. I think at a point, if you're going to get really serious about using your camera, I think it definitely would pique my interest. If we're using in video, I would definitely recommend having either the A6500 or the A6600 with the stabilized body. So if you don't have it and you want to use it for video, that's one caveat. Because, for example, the 1670 F4 has stabilization, the 18-105 has stabilization, the 18-135 has stabilization. So if you were going to use this with like your A6000, 6300, 6400, there's no stabilization for video. So you might not be able to use it really handheld. Now, you can still use it on a tripod or something around the gimbal, but you're going to lose a little bit of that flexibility for handheld video if that's something you like to do. So that's one downside. So I don't recommend you going out and buying it. I'm just going to say right now, just off the cuff, off the top of my head, if you have a stabilized APS-C body, I think it's worth taking a look at. That's where I would look at it right now. But I am going to test it out. I'll do some photo testing in terms of autofocus, video, and I'll try to compare it with another one of these bodies that I do, the lenses that I do have for sort of like a side-by-side comparison. Ideally, it'd be nice with the 16-55, but I don't have it. But overall, folks, that is it. That is the Tamron 17-70, my initial thoughts about this lens. And if Tamron keeps this up, man, I'll be really impressed if they bring out maybe an APS-C telephoto version. So not necessarily like a 70 to 180 necessarily, but maybe they make one for APS-C that's like 70 to 250 at f2.8, something crazy like that. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below what that next zoom lens would be if they were going to make a telephoto APS-C. And are any of you really interested in wanting to get this lens for APS-C body? Or have we all just said APS-C is dead? Because the full frame side is really appealing. It's so appealing right now because of the price point that things are at. I mean, you're seeing the A7 II at like $800 or so, brand new or something, or even less than that. A7R2, A7R3, A7 III. So going into full frame isn't that far out anymore, but if you still want to stick with APS-C, you do have a better option now for a standard zoom lens. Now, price-wise, it's still up there for the vast majority of people. I'm not going to say $799 is cheap because it's not. So I really don't think a casual person should pick this lens up, really like an enthusiast and someone that really wants to step up their photo/video game. But that's my thoughts on it, folks. Let me know down below. I really appreciate it. Maybe I'm back, maybe I'm not. That's going to do it for me. Hit that like button, get subscribed, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.